Okay, this is my audience.
Hi.
Alright, so Marley Martin once said, "The earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth." This quote is very important because basically, if it wasn't for the earth, none of us would be here today, and it's the most important thing that we have. So, my name is Alessia, and today I will show you why it is so important to take care of the earth and the factors that we can do to help. So I'm going to start by saying that the main thing that has been a problem in the earth is going to be overfishing. For those of you who don't know, overfishing isn't just taking all the fish out of the sea. It's basically taking out fish that haven't fully produced yet. So when you're taking out these little fish, it's causing them not to reproduce, and it's basically sending them into extinction. Another very important factor is going to be pollution. So by us just throwing trash into the ocean or on the street in the sand and not caring, it's really affecting our waters and it's really affecting our climate change. So for example, let's think about this winter. We barely even had a winter. And this is all because of us. It's causing global warming, and the only people that can do this to save the world is us. So if we don't start by taking care of our oceans and the marine life, it's never gonna end, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. So for example, these pictures right here. So this beach right here has a full potential to be a beautiful beach, but instead it's covered in trash. So it's so easy for me to walk to the beach and throw something in the sand and not pick it up, but it is so hard that once it accumulates, that no one will go and pick it all up, and it's destroying our beaches. Not only that, we have to think about our animals as well. So if you look at this seagull, it has a bunch of trash inside of it. That is terrible that our animals are eating this, and it's causing them to die, and even sometimes that's the things that we're eating, because some of these fish we eat. So think about how gross it is for us to be eating the trash that we're throwing. It's just kind of like an evolution type of thing. Here are more pictures. So this is a baby turtle eating plastic. How terrible is that? These pictures are really, really sad because they don't know better. They just eat whatever they come across, and that's plastic that we are throwing in the ocean for them. And then this is kind of like a can wrapper. It's a duck that's choking on it. So we're killing them. We're basically making our marine life extinct because of stupid plastic products. So here's a little video to show y'all why it is so important.
Says plastic will outweigh fish in the oceans by 2050. By 2050, plastic rubbish in the oceans will outweigh fish, according to a new report by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation released at the World Economic Forum in Davos this week. The United States, Europe, and Asia together account for 85% of plastics production, roughly split between the US and Europe on one side and Asia on the other. Some 95% of plastic packaging produced each year is lost to the economy after a single use. Out of all the plastic produced every year, only 5% is recycled effectively. Around 40% is buried in landfills, and about 32% reaches the oceans. This corresponds to dumping the contents of one garbage truck into the ocean every minute. The production of plastic, which now stands at around 311 million tons a year, is expected to quadruple by 2050. This will bring the ratio of plastic to fish in the ocean, calculated according to weight, from 1 to 5 to more than 1 to 1. The report urges people to take action and to rethink the way we use and recycle plastic. It also suggests that manufacturers help reduce plastic waste by producing not only plastic that is reusable, but also compostable plastics, a new generation of plastics that are biodegradable through composting.
Alright, so that was a small video to show you kind of the equations that could happen in this 50 years if we keep taking the actions that we take and we don't actually stop and help our oceans. So what are some things that you can do to help? For example, the main thing that you can do is make sure that you're making safe, sustainable seafood choices. So if you go out to eat, make sure that you're eating a healthy fish and not something that could be polluted or could have pathogens inside of it. Another very important thing that most people should take action of is to stop using so many plastic products. So for example, if you go to a store like Whole Foods, they offer you like a cloth bag or a different kind of bag instead of a plastic bag. That's some examples of taking and cutting back on plastic, because little things like plastic bags, straws, cups are going into the ocean and are killing all our animals. And then another thing that you can really do is make sure that you purchase items that exploit marine life. Something very important that people don't think about is their pet food. So a lot of this pet food has not sustainable or healthy fish in it, and there's really no point of you buying food for your dog that is making the marine life extinct. Another thing that a lot of people don't know, and I find very interesting, is that cat litter actually contains a lot of pathogens that could affect marine life. So most people, by getting rid of their cat litter, they flush it down the toilet, and little do they know that it's going straight into the ocean and it's killing all these animals. So now that I talked about a couple things that you can do to help this, let's talk about the satisfaction that it will bring to you and others around the world. So National Geographic has a day. It's called the National Ocean Day. It's every June 8th. They have a day where they go all around the world and they raise awareness for the ocean. So if anyone ever wants to find out more or just really help out the ocean, this is a great way that they've done just to raise awareness and help everybody out on it. So by National Geographic, what they do is it's a campaign that they want to save over 7,100 square miles of ocean, and this is what they call the pristine seas. They want to inspire other governments and leaders to do it all around the world as well to help our marine life. So far, they've already helped over 3 million square kilometers of the ocean. Just imagine how much we could save if we all put a little bit in. So in conclusion, today I've taught y'all that if we're all unconscious about what we're doing to the earth, imagine how much the earth and ourselves will suffer. So the more we harm the ocean, the more it will harm ourselves. Also, I showed you guys what is happening with the world and the best way to treat it, and some of little tips that will make us all put in a little bit to help the ocean. And then finally, the key to success for me is just to educate yourself and keep in mind what you're doing to the ocean every time you throw something away or if you don't recycle properly. And then to end this, I'm going to tell you a little quote. So let's not only make a better world for our children, let's make our children be a better world, be better for the world. So thank you.
Wow.
And then this is my audience again.